February 2003. Hendersonville, Tennessee. The House of Cash Museum. Abandoned. Empty. Closed for years. Inside, an old man sat at a piano. Johnny Cash, 71 years old, frail, shaking, dying. He was singing, "I hurt myself today, to see if I still feel." A camera crew filmed him. Director Mark Romanek, lights, equipment. And on the staircase behind him, watching, silent, terrified, stood a woman. June Carter Cash, his wife of 35 years. She looked at him like she was watching him die, her face filled with grief, with fear, with knowing. Everyone who saw that video later would think the same thing. She knows he's dying, she's saying goodbye. And they were right, she was saying goodbye. But here's what nobody knew. Here's the secret that makes this video unbearably tragic. June Carter. Cash thought she was watching her husband's final days. She thought she would be the one left behind. She thought she'd have to bury him. She was wrong. 3 months later, June Carter Cash was dead. 4 months after that, Johnny followed her. And the Hurt video, this masterpiece of grief and farewell, became something else entirely. Not Johnny's goodbye to the world, but June's goodbye to Johnny. A goodbye she didn't even know she was making. Let's start at the beginning. October 2002. Johnny Cash's health was failing. He had autonomic neuropathy, a complication from diabetes. His nervous system was shutting down. His body couldn't regulate temperature, couldn't control blood pressure, couldn't digest food. And the pain, constant, unrelenting. Doctors gave him options. Surgery, risky, might end his singing career, might kill him, or painkillers, which could re-trigger his 30-year battle with addiction. Johnny chose neither. He chose to live with the pain, because there was only one thing that made the pain stop: performing. The only time I didn't feel pain, he told friends, was when I was on stage. So he kept recording. With producer Rick Rubin, the American Recording Series, stripped-down albums, Johnny and a guitar, covering songs nobody expected: Tom Waits, U2, Depeche Mode, and for American 4, The Man Comes Around. Rick suggested something bold: Hurt. By 9 Inch Nails, a song about self-destruction, about addiction, about regret, written by Trent Reznor in 1994. About his own darkness, his own pain. Johnny heard it and knew. This song was written for him. I hurt myself today, to see if I still feel. Every word, every line, his life. So he recorded it. And when Trent Reznor heard Johnny's version, he cried. Trent Reznor, industrial rock star, 9 Inch Nails frontman. He got a call. Johnny Cash wants to cover Hurt. Trent said yes, flattered, but worried. Would this 70-year-old country legend turn his dark personal song into something gimmicky? Weeks later, a CD arrived. Trent listened. His reaction: it sounded weird to me. That song in particular was straight from my soul, and it felt very strange hearing the highly identifiable voice of Johnny Cash singing it. He admitted, it felt like I was watching my girlfriend fuck somebody else. Harsh, but honest. Then another package arrived, a videotape. The music video, directed by Mark Romanek. Trent was in his New Orleans studio, mourning, working. He put the tape in, and his words, tears welling, silence, goosebumps. Wow, I just lost my girlfriend because that song isn't mine anymore. It really made me think about how powerful music is. Trent Reznor, the man who wrote Some Hurt, surrendered. Johnny Cash had taken his song, made it immortal. But how? October 2002. Some sources say February 2003. Filming likely happened across both. Director Mark Romanek flew to Nashville. He'd worked with Trent before, on Closer, the controversial Nine Inch Nails video. Now Rick Rubin wanted him for Johnny Cash's Hurt. Mark arrived, met Johnny, saw how frail he was, and made a decision. Maybe we could be extremely candid about the state of Johnny's health, as candid as Johnny has always been in his songs. No makeup, no hiding, no pretending, just truth. Johnny was dying, and the video would show it. Mark scouted locations. Johnny's house, too polished. Then he found it, the House of Cash Museum, built in Johnny's honor in the 1980s, a tourist attraction filled with memorabilia, gold records, costumes, photos. But it had been closed for years. Mark walked in and his jaw dropped. It had been closed for a long time. The place was in such a state of dereliction. Water damage, dust, broken picture frames, cobwebs, everything decaying, a perfect metaphor. Johnny Cash's museum, abandoned, falling apart, just like the man himself. Mark explored, found something else. Film reels, boxes of them, old footage from Johnny's career. He put one on, watched. A young Johnny Cash, 1974, riding a steam train, smiling, vibrant, full of life. And Mark had his vision. Young Johnny, old Johnny, past glory, present decay, life, death. The video practically wrote itself. If you want more untold stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support means everything to us. June Carter Cash, 73 years old. She came to the set to watch, to support Johnny. Mark Romanek approached her. Would you appear in the video? June hesitated. She wasn't feeling well, tired, weak. But Johnny, always the joker, said, "Yeah, honey. Why don't you dance naked on the piano here while I'm playing?" The crew laughed. June smiled, agreed. Not to dance, just to watch. So they filmed it. Johnny sat at the piano, singing. What have I become? My sweetest friend. And June stood on the staircase behind him, watching her face, the look on her face. Music critic Armand White described it perfectly. June Carter standing nearby, quaking with concern, like someone who has spent a lot of time making sure a loved one doesn't stumble. That's exactly what it looked like. A wife watching her husband die. Someone who'd saved him before, who'd pulled him from addiction, who'd kept him alive for 35 years. And now, finally, she couldn't save him anymore. She could only watch. Director Mark Romanek said, I focused June's appearance in the final act of the video. The climax, when Johnny sings, "Everyone I know goes away in the end." Right then, June appears, looking at Johnny, and her face says everything. Grief, love, fear, acceptance, goodbye. Everyone who watched that video thought, she knows he's dying. This is her farewell. But here's what nobody knew, June Carter. Cash had a heart condition, and she'd kept it secret. May 7th, 2003. June Carter Cash was rushed to Baptist Hospital in Nashville. Heart valve replacement surgery, Emergency. Her heart valve had deteriorated, needed replacement now. The surgery happened May 7th. Johnny waited, prayed, begged God. But complications occurred. May 11th, 2003. News broke. June Carter Cash critical after heart surgery complications. Manager Lou Robin issued a statement. Johnny Cash is asking everyone able to pray for his wife's recovery to do so at 11 a.m. EDT today. He added, June did this for him one time when he was critically ill. The recovery the next morning was something the doctors couldn't describe or imagine. A miracle. That's what Johnny needed. A miracle. But this time, no miracle came. May 15th, 2003, Thursday. June Carter Cash died. Complications from surgery. She'd been in a coma, no brain activity, life support. Doctors told the family, she's in an irreversible vegetative state. All eyes turned to Johnny. He was in a wheelchair, weak, devastated. But he took charge. He asked everyone to hold hands, to pray. Then he said, if anyone has anything to say to June, you should say it now. For hours, he visited her bedside, every 30 minutes, wheeling himself to intensive care, talking to her, singing to her, reading psalms. He begged her not to leave him, biographer Steve Turner wrote, but she was already gone. Johnny gave permission to end life support. And June Carter Cash, 73 years old, married to Johnny for 35 years, died, with her husband beside her. After June's death, Johnny's world ended. Reverend Courtney Wilson, their pastor, said, he tried to contain himself, but her passing took his last spark, the last bit of his heart. Johnny admitted as much at his first public appearance after her death. I don't know hardly what to say tonight about being up here without her. The pain is so severe there is no way of describing it. Marty Stewart, his friend and son-in-law, described a moment alone with Johnny. He broke down and started crying and said, man, I miss her so bad. I didn't know what to say, so I held his hand. He grabbed my hand and said, son, cling to her, cling to her, cling to her. Stewart added, what I saw at that moment is that he would have traded every bit of fame, fortune, everything that Johnny Cash meant to the world, for 5 minutes with June. Johnny tried to keep going. He was going blind. But he asked his daughter Cindy to bring him more photographs of June. He had an artist paint June's face on the elevator doors at his office. So every time the elevator opened, he'd see her. He tried to record. To finish the album American Vi, engineer David Ferguson said, his voice would come and go. He never knew from one day to the next whether he was going to be able to sing. He was real weak. He was in a wheelchair and sick, but whenever he could, and whenever he felt like it, he wanted to record. Because work was all he had left. But his body was giving up. September 12th, 2003, Friday. 4 months after June's death. Johnny Cash died. Officially, complications from diabetes. But everyone knew the truth. He died of a broken heart. His son, John Carter Cash, said, it wasn't his spirit that gave up. It was his body. But even that's not quite true. Because Johnny Cash couldn't live without June. For 35 years, she'd been his anchor, his savior, his reason. And when she died, he had nothing left. These forgotten stories deserve to be told. If you think so too, subscribe and like this video. Thank you for keeping these memories alive. Watch it again. Knowing what you know now. The opening shots. The abandoned museum. Decaying memorabilia. Broken frames. Water damage. Young Johnny on film reels, smiling, vibrant, alive. Cut to old Johnny, frail, shaking, singing. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel the sadness, the regret, the pain. Then the wine scene. Johnny pours wine over a feast, ruining it, drowning it. A metaphor for his life, for wasted blessings. Then more footage. His career, his fame, his glory. Cut back to old Johnny at the piano. What have I become? My sweetest friend. And then June, standing on the staircase, looking at him. Her face, that look. Everyone thought she's watching him die. But watch it again. Look at her expression. What if she wasn't just worried about Johnny? What if, deep down, unconsciously, she knew? Not that Johnny was dying, but that she was. That her heart was failing. That this might be one of her last moments with him. When Hurt was filmed in February 2003, everyone believed Johnny was dying and June would survive him. The video was made as Johnny's goodbye, his farewell to music, to fame, to life. But the universe had other plans. 3 months after filming, June died. And suddenly, the Hurt video meant something completely different. Look at that moment again. June on the staircase, Johnny singing, "Everyone I know goes away in the end." June watching, her face filled with grief. What was she thinking in that moment? Was she thinking, I'm going to lose him. I'm going to be alone. Or was she feeling something else? Something deeper, a premonition, a fear, a knowing that their time together was ending, that one of them would go soon. She thought it would be Johnny. It was her. Hurt won everything. 2003 MTV Video Music Awards, 6 nominations, won Best Cinematography. Johnny Cash became the oldest artist ever nominated for an MTV VMA. Justin Timberlake won Best Male Video for Cry Me a River. In his acceptance speech, Justin said, "This is a travesty. The award should have gone to Johnny Cash." 2004 Grammy Awards, won Best Short-Form Music Video. CMA Awards, Video of the Year. In 2011, NME ranked it the greatest music video of all time. Time magazine. One of the 30 all-time best music videos. Rolling Stone, #2 greatest music video ever. But here's what all those awards miss. The video's power doesn't come from cinematography or direction or production value. It comes from truth. From watching 2 people say goodbye. From watching a wife look at her husband, thinking he'll die first. From the universe's cruel joke, she died first. And knowing that June had 3 months left, that Johnny had 7, it changes everything. Watch the video now. When June looks at Johnny, when she stands there, silent, watching, she's not just worried about him. She's feeling the end approaching for both of them. And she doesn't know it yet, but we do. The Hurt video is not about Johnny Cash dying. It's about love dying. About 2 people who couldn't exist without each other. About 35 years of marriage, of fighting, of addiction, of redemption, of music. About a woman who saved a man's life over and over. About a man who loved a woman more than fame, more than music, more than breath. And about the cruelest truth of all. When you love someone that deeply, losing them kills you too. June died May 15th, 2003. Johnny died September 12th, 2003. 4 months. That's how long Johnny Cash lasted without June. Not because he was weak, but because he was human. Because love, real, deep, 35-year love, doesn't just disappear. It lives in your chest, in your bones, in every breath. And when the person you love is gone, every breath hurts. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. Johnny sang those words in February 2003. June died in May. Johnny died in September. And the Hurt video became a document of the end. Not just Johnny's end, not just June's end, but the end of their love story. A love story that couldn't survive separation. Even death couldn't keep them apart 4 months. That's all Johnny managed. Because without June, there was no Johnny. Rosanne Cash, Johnny's daughter from his first marriage. She talked about the Hurt video, about June, about that look on June's face. And she said something haunting. My stepmother looked at my father in that video like she knew. Like she understood what was coming. Not for him, for them. Because that's the secret. June didn't just watch Johnny dying. She felt them dying. Both of them. Together. Their time running out. And when Johnny sang "Everyone I Know Goes Away" in the end, June knew. She was right. Everyone does go away, even her, especially her. And 4 months after she died, Johnny proved it. He went away too, to find her. Watch it knowing. June will die in 3 months. Johnny will die in 7 months. This is their final goodbye. Neither of them knows it. Watch June on that staircase, her face, her eyes, her fear. She thought she was watching Johnny die. She was wrong. She was watching them both die. And that's what makes this the greatest music video ever made. Not the cinematography, not the symbolism, not the song, but the truth. 2 people, in love, at the end, saying goodbye without knowing it. And 4 months apart, they'd both be gone. Because love like that doesn't survive separation. It ends together, or it ends you. Johnny and June proved that. If this hidden truth shocked you, there are many more secrets waiting to be uncovered. Subscribe to Johnny Cash, The Hidden Truth, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next revelation. Like this video if the Man in Black's story moved you. And remember, the truth can't stay buried forever. See you in the next episode.